Hi Scorpio, welcome to your May 2020 love reading. It's Raina here. I've been trying to do this reading all morning and I hear the ominous sounds of lawnmowers and leaf blowers in the distance. I hope I can get through this without any interruption. This reading is intended for people who are single as well as people in partnerships that are not satisfactory. So not for people who are having a great old time. I'm getting the Six of Wands lately. A lot. Okay, well, we've got Queens and Kings. Queens and Kings. All right. I should be able to get through this reading, but I didn't erase my files, and so I've got very little storage left. So I'm going to try to be mindful of that. The heart of the matter is the Queen of Wands. Excuse me. This is a card that is associated with Sagittarius, but, in this particular reading, I would assume that if this is not you, then it's somebody that you're involved with or thinking about, if somebody that you like. Now, this person is going to be very self-confident. That doesn't sound right. I think you just say confident. It's redundant. How can you be confident for somebody else? So this person, if it's not you, is someone who is very cheerful in life, upbeat, that kind of individual. And I personally associate this with Leo. It's fire energy. The other sign that is fire is Aries. And so sometimes this could even be a workplace situation where this person is in a position that is above you. They are authority figure. If this is a facet of you, Scorpio, and you have become more confident, this woman is holding a sunflower. Maybe you feel like you are blossoming into your confidence. I guess they do say self-confidence. And this can be for different reasons. Somebody that you've met, let's look at the past position. The Three of Pentacles. This is a card of the co-worker. So yeah, maybe you're the boss and you're interested in a underling, or this is a co-worker situation, working on a project together. This is a card of teamwork. But the Queen can be the mother. So if you have baby on the brain, and the Three of Pentacles is about trying for a baby, maybe. A baby, maybe. That could be what is involved in your relationship right now, if you are involved with somebody. And sometimes, when somebody has a hard time conceiving, they feel, it puts stress on the relationship. The higher message is very positive for this. This is the Ten of Pentacles. This is a card of generational wealth and also generations. So if you are trying for a child, this could be suggesting that this is very possible for you. The other thing too, though, is if you identify as the Queen of Wands, then you may be a career woman, and you may have to make space for that in your life. And perhaps you're trying to conceive, but you're not altering your work schedule, and you want to have the best of both worlds. Well, there's a lot that goes into having a child. So I hear, not anything I've personally done, but I can imagine that the physical toll, even on the physical level, if you have to rest more and things like that, you might have to alter your schedule, and that will help matters. But if you're single, this can be somebody, you may want this in your life. You may want to start a family. But do you have a person in mind? Have you sustained a relationship? So if you're single, you're still looking for a primary relationship. What crosses you is the King of Swords. This is a person who may be very cold and even like cruel in their coldness. I was thinking Aquarius because that's one of the air signs, but because the air is connected to swords, so excuse me, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini are air signs, but that mentality that is very detached, and sometimes these are the people who their anger comes out in very hurtful words or mind games, and they don't have the ability to really, they don't have empathy, so it's very hard for them to feel, but they know how to inflict these wounds. And it's funny because swords are very sharp, so the words can be very sharp. This is going to be especially true if it's in the reversed position. And because this is the king, I mean, this could even be a malignant narcissist who deliberately is doing this in order to make you feel like you're not okay and to question yourself. So this can also be your father. And if you're single, this could explain why you have a hard time with relationships, because you have trust issues. Scorpio already is like that, is a very kind of suspicious sign, guarded, and secretive, all kind of similar ideas. And one of the reasons why people get like that is because they have been hurt by somebody whose opinion they really valued. At least at one time they valued that person's opinion, or who held power. This is one of the reasons why the kings and queens are associated with parents, because of the high position and holding that power over a child who is very vulnerable to and doesn't understand that parents aren't gods. So so that can certainly wound somebody to the point where they have a hard time getting close to them. And for Scorpio, this is particularly painful because your very sign itself in the house that you rule, the 8th house, is the house of intimacy. And you want that more than anything. And so when you feel like you're resistant to getting close, it's confusing and painful, because this is something that is good for you, and this what you're made out of, what you're all about. So looking at these issues, that's why when I do these readings, it's really, the cards are almost immaterial. It's really about the lessons that they represent, or that the questions that they bring to the surface, which can be applied to anybody's life in any circumstance, really, when you get down to it, So, what is coming in, or the advice, is the 6 of Wands. I've been getting this card in love readings, which is very interesting, because to me, this is really a card for the career success and recognition, where, resting on one's laurels. I think that's a laurel wreath, but that idea of like, hey, I did this, and celebrating your victory and everything like that. In relationships, to me, this card represents someone who is, or as advice, allowing yourself to accept admiration, praise from someone. Because, well, obviously it goes without saying that if somebody is doing that right off the bat and they don't really know you that well, that they could be phony. So it's not to just say let down your guard completely, because there are people who schmooze others, but in general, if you have met somebody like this in your life, and that's why you're the Queen of Wands, that's why you're so kind of have a confident air about you, understand that it can be scary to be in this position, to be receiving these accolades, because for some Scorpios, this may be new territory. And it's important not to allow the past, and that could be with that King of Swords in reversed, if not a father, maybe the father of your child, as some sort of ex that may have really known how to push your buttons, or how to like trigger you, because they knew, they kind of got inside your head and they figured out what your vulnerabilities are, because Scorpios do not show their hand in that way very much. So it's quite an accomplishment for somebody to, kind of crack your coconut and figure out what makes you tick. But once they do that, once they have that in, then they can control you. Well, you're going to have to let go of that influence. If somebody did that to you and it was a very scary experience because you didn't know how to deal with this person, the more attention you give to them, the more they stay alive in your life. The Six of Wands could be a Leo, and that person could be coming into your life, and maybe this is the person that you're already interested in, and who has a positive effect on you. The outcome is the Queen of Pentacles, and for somebody trying to conceive, this can be like a stay-at-home mother. You might have a business from home. Pentacles can be money, but if you're trying to conceive and you're like, how am I going to navigate that with having a career, you may decide, I'll do it from home. If you are... I think that what I would say about this is, looking at the transformation or transition from the Queen of Wands to the Queen of Pentacles, we're talking about feminine masculine to feminine. I would say that it's about letting down your guard enough to be, and I'm saying this specifically as a woman interested in a man, to be able to allow yourself to not have to control everything. And some of you may be so used to, maybe you're a single mother and you're like the mother and the father to your child. So you've kind of adopted this aggressive demeanor, and yet you want to be treated like a woman. Well, there's that. And when I say treated like a woman, where you feel protected, where you don't feel like you have to, raise the man too, where you want an equal partner. You have to be willing to embrace the divine feminine. And the Queen of Pentacles is more along those lines as a minor arcana card. I don't know if it's associated with Taurus or anything like that, but the Empress is the major arcana card connected to Venus, including Taurus, like the Earth Mother. And so I would say this about the Queen of Pentacles. So that can be scary, because you may just have this tough exterior, or with the Queen of Wands, just a very confident, can-do approach to life. And you may feel like if you let go of that need to always be the strong one, and if you allow your vulnerabilities to show, and you're willing to allow somebody to, I wouldn't say comfort you, but to give you this sense that they have your back, that can be a beautiful thing. And it's really what change is all about, is the ability to change. Scorpios are not necessarily one of those people who handle that well because you're fixed sign, but you can do it. You can certainly do it. And maybe it will be very gradual, but it will certainly be something that you'll look back on and you'll say, this person, didn't shy away from me, you know, when I was putting on this face of being invulnerable. And now I can let them see the whole of me, not just that image, you know. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this, Scorpio. If you'd like a private reading, most of my readings are astrology based, even when I do love readings. But, you know, it's very good. I feel like comfortable with that, because you would be amazed at what you can see in somebody's chart. So please check me out at rainandmoonastrology.com. The link to my online store page is below. Take care. Bye.